What is up, guys? It is DMG here, and today we are going to be talking about the second set of icon swaps. Now, before we get into the value of some of these players or some of the tokens themselves, what you need to know about icon swaps in terms of the dates are right here at the main menu of Ultimate Team on the news section. You can see that from February 19th to March 26th, there are 9 tokens available. So right now, 9 tokens are available, and then from March 26th to May 7th, the remaining 9 tokens are going to be available. So they cut it in half this time instead of 8 and 10, and so it is 9 and 9 with a total of, similar to the past icon swaps, 18 total tokens. You can see right here at the top of my screen right there that 34 days until March 26 until it expires. So essentially it's just going to be for the rest of the season, and then the remaining 9 icon swaps will be out then. Now, like I mentioned, we will be talking about which icon swaps are going to be worth it, which ones are overpriced, which ones are actually decently valued. But if there is some card that you see that has some sentimental value, ignore everything that I'm saying, right? Because sentimental value should be the reason why you play this game, and using cards that you've loved in the past or players that you've loved in the past. However, if you do want to know what ones again are worth it and what options you do have, then make sure to watch the video, like, subscribe if you haven't, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So the ones that are available are the 81 plus 25 pack for 2, the 82 25 pack for 3, the 83 plus 25 pack for 5. You get Moments Deco for 7. You have the base icon for 8. You have the mid icon for 9. Ashley Cole for 9. Minter Prime for 10. Mark Overmars, Moments Overmars, I should say, for 11. Prime Icon for 12. Blanc for 13. Mid Blanc, I should say. 91 plus Prime for 14. The 87, I believe that's Mid Butragueño for 15. Then you have Prime or Moments Icon for 16. And then Moments Baggio for 17. Now, before we actually talk about some of the value, let's go over the ones that are just completely not worth it whatsoever. In my opinion, base icon pack is not worth it because while you can get it now, a lot of the base icons are actually behind the curve unless you can get the Pele, the Eusebio, the Cruyff, right, or R9. Unless you can get like 4 or 5 of the absolute top tier base icons, it's not going to be worth it. And as we all know, we're most likely going to be getting a goalkeeper like Schmeichel or Nakata. Ashley Cole is another one, in my opinion, that's not worth it just because there are left backs just as good as him. Plus, there are also left backs that have a better attacking ability than him. And as we all know, left wing backs, right wing backs, and a 5 at the back are very important for attacking. So the fact that he doesn't really have great shooting is a little bit of a worry. And he also has only a 2-star weak foot and 3-star skills. You also have this Butragueño for 15, which, I mean, he's literally behind the curve like right now, right? There are cards literally better than him, and this is the 3rd most amount of tokens that's you could get. I just no, just do not get this card. For ones that are worth it or at least decent, I do think these first 3 are pretty good. Obviously there's no icons in it, but one, you obviously still could get an icon, whether that is obviously a super low chance, but you could also save these for any type of promo. Now team of the season is going to be until maybe late April, early May, so you may have to hold on to these packs for a little bit, but obviously there are going to be promos in the meantime, like FUT Birthday, for example, that you could open these packs for. And again, the fact that they are the least amount of icon tokens or icon swap tokens, I think that's actually pretty decent. Moments Deco, I think, is actually a pretty good value just because it is only 7 tokens and you get a pretty decent card from it. Now obviously the fact that it's not as meta, right, because it's only a 3-star weak foot, it's Portuguese, so it doesn't have the best of links. I still think it's a good card because his dribbling and his passing are great. I don't think you need to upgrade the dribbling because he actually has a short and lean body type, so he should be maneuvering pretty well. His stamina is fairly good, and if you genuinely just put a hunter on him to up the finishing, up the pace to 95, I think it's a really solid card in my opinion. The base icon we talked about, not gonna be worth it, and honestly I'm kind of feeling that way about the mid icon pack as well, just because again, pretty similar to the base icon pack. Unless you can get one of the very top tier ones, it's most likely not going to be worth it, because again, you could still get any of the not great icons like Schmeichel, Inzaghi, Nakata, etc., And the only ones that are actually very, very good are going to be ones like Maldini or Cruyff, Eusebio, and a few others, right? So again, I don't really think the mid icon one is that great. Now the mid or prime icon pack for 10 I think is okay, just because you know, you still get the chance at a prime icon pack similar to the mid icon, and it's only one token more, right? So you know, it's possible that you could definitely get one of the prime icons that's actually decent, like Thierry Henry, for example, but you know, the fact that it's 10, you're gonna have to wait until the next set of icon tokens come out, which by that time there could definitely be cards that are you know, much better and much more fun and usable. So you know, some of the prime icons could definitely fall behind that curve in the meantime. Marc Overmars for 11, I think this is okay, just because obviously he has tremendous amount of pace, he's got good dribbling, good stamina, 5-star weak foot, which is great. Unfortunately, he has an average body type, so you know, the dribbling may not be amazing, but along with that, I do think there are also cards that are kind of similar to him, like Van Bergen, for example. Van Bergen is genuinely very like the slightly less version of Moments Overmars, actually. Both have 5-star weak foot, 3-star skills, both have tremendous pace and dribbling and stamina, both have pretty similar shooting and passing. Obviously Overmars is going to be slightly better than Van Bergen in all of those stats, but at the same time Van Bergen is, you know, a little bit cheaper, obviously, at least in terms of time, right? You're not going to have to grind 11 tokens for him, which again, you're going to have to wait until at the very least late March or even early April to get this Overmars, when in the meantime you can just go and try to get Van Bergen by the end of the weekend, right? So again, it's not too bad of a card, but I do think that, you know, by the time late March, early April rolls around, when you do or are able to get this card, I do think there are going to be cards just as good as him out. Prime icon pack for 12, again, you're going to have to wait until the next set of icons come out, and similar to the mid or prime icon pack, you're going to have to wait until late March, early April for this prime icon pack. So again, there's going to be in that time some promos, and there's going to be some cards, for example prime icons, that are going to fall behind the power curve, unfortunately. Honestly, it's looking right now that this is an incredibly underwhelming and pretty bad icon swaps, but we continue on anyway. Got Blanc for 13, and this one I'm actually really torn on whether it's worth it or not, because on one hand you obviously get a very, very solid center back, solid pace, defending. If you put Shadow on him, goes to 89, nearly 90 pace, 6'4", medium high, which is great. He's French, which has some very solid links to him. However, at the same time, people are still going to be using the classic Varane, right, who's also, you know, very tall at 6'3", maybe 6'4", or somewhere like that. For the rest of these icons, icon swaps, you're going to have to wait until late March, early April in order to get them, because again, not all the tokens are out. So this at 13, you know, again, I'm torn on, just because I do think there are just as good center backs out right now, but again, he's also a good card himself, and the fact that, you know, it's 13, so that means there's 5 tokens left. You could either get the 82 25 pack and the 81 25 pack, or you could just get the 83 pack. So there's a couple of things that you can kind of go along with it. The 91 plus prime icon pack is a little bit tempting, and if we take a look at the, you know, icons that you can get, obviously in terms of the ones that are really, really good, it's obviously great. However, there are a few stinkers in there as well, right? You can still get Petr Cech, you could still get Ian Rush, Miroslav Klose, Puyol, Bobby Moore, Hugo Sanchez, Paul Scholes, Robert Pires, Michael Owen, Trezeguet, Riquelme, right, and some other goalies as well. But there's also some obviously very, very solid ones that are better because they are a prime icon, like Stoichkov, like Figo, obviously Cannavaro if you haven't done the SVC, Xavi, obviously the top tier ones as well. So overall, I think that's an okay one at 14, and again, it's kind of similar to the rest of these icon swap SBCs, or just swaps in general, where it's either, you know, not great or it's just average, right? There hasn't really been a really, really solid one besides, at least in my opinion, the Moments Deco for 7. Butragueño we talked about, that's definitely a no. Prime or Moments icon pack at 16. Honestly, I would rather just go for the 91 prime icon pack because, you know, it's a prime or Moments icon pack, which means most likely it's going to be a prime, and you could still get one of like the 88s, 89, 90 overall prime icon packs, right? So there's obviously a chance you can get a Moments and a chance that you can get something really, really good, but the fact that it's nearly all of your tokens and the fact that you could still get a prime Inzaghi or a prime Nakata for 16 tokens is obviously not going to be worth it. So personally, I would not really take the chance with that. And then lastly, you have Baggio for 17. Now, in my opinion, this is better than last time, which was Thierry Henry. And as much as I love Henry, being an Arsenal fan, it was definitely not worth it for 17. This one is a little bit different because he's actually better. Obviously, there are a few downsides, at least with his stamina. And you're obviously going to have to grind all of the tokens, at least all but one of the tokens. You're going to have to wait until probably early April or mid-April to get all of the tokens needed for this. But, you know, at the same time, it's obviously a solid card that's most likely going to be in your team for the rest of FIFA. And it's genuinely a really, really solid card, right? He, you know, has good pace. His shooting is fantastic. His dribbling is fantastic. At least the actual dribbling. You know what? You put an engine on him, right? Up the pace, up the agility and the balance, and it's genuinely a good card. So it's kind of surprising, but I'm saying at least Baggio, compared to at least some of these guys, is not nearly as bad, like Butragueño, for example. So what combinations should you guys go for? Well, obviously, first of all, again, like I said before, if there's any sentimental value for any of these players, you obviously are going to be going for them. Now, in my opinion, Deco's honestly one of the better valued ones, just because it's a decent card and it's only 7 tokens. So ones that involve Deco, you could obviously get this one, and then you could also get the rest of the first page as well, the 81, the 82, the 83, 25 player packs, which, you know, that's obviously 75 players. There's probably going to be some duplicates in there, but, you know, you could still get some really high rated players for fodder, and then you can use that for SBCs, right? So Deco, and then these other 3 right here, that's a pretty good option. You could do Deco for 7 as well. You could do a mid or prime icon pack, or you could do Overmars. That's a pretty good combination. If for some reason you have any type of sentimental value for Ashley Cole, you could do him and Deco. But from what I'm seeing so far, the best ones in terms of combinations are going to mostly involve this Deco card. And if I had to really lean towards something, I would probably go with everything on this first page, because you can, right? You can go with Deco, the 83, the 82, the 81 packs, and alongside that, you actually are not even going to get all of the tokens needed, right? Obviously, you're going to get most of them, but you don't have to get all 18, which is at least a small consolation. So that is going to do it for this video. If you guys have any questions over it, let me know, and then we can keep talking about it in the comments. But like I said, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been DMG. Peace.